Welcome to the morning show on WRCO Radio. We are here to talk about all the great things going on at Highland. In the studio today, we have Senior Advisor Melissa Straka, and then Kate Terrell, a senior at Highland, is joined as well by Bennett Smith and John Dreschmeyer from Highland Schools. 3 seniors and their advisor. Good to have you on representing here today. Melissa, does it seem like the school year has gone by quickly?
The school year has gone by super fast, yes.
So looking at this group, you brought in 3 pretty deserving people. Was it a hard choice?
It was not a hard choice. These 3 students have done some amazing things this year through their senior project, and we're excited to share that with you.
So tell me about the senior project at Highland. I think it's kind of unique, isn't it?
It is. It's something that we started about 12 years ago. We had seen another school, West Salem, that did something similar, and so we wanted to adapt it when we became a charter school. We took their ideas and we kind of tweaked it to fit what we wanted for our students. One of the coolest things about this project is that the students get to pick what they want to learn about, which is something unique to school. Like most of the time, students don't get that opportunity to choose their learning. And so they get to pick their project, and then they have to find a professional who is an expert in their project topic and work with them as a mentor. And then after that, their project has to somehow give back to the community, which I think is the most incredible part.
I know there are programs, like youth apprenticeships and things like that. This is a little different, isn't it?
Yeah, this is different. This is actually a class that they take through school. We meet every day, and they each have an advisor. So there's 3 of us who are advisors this year, and they work closely with their advisor every day throughout the year in the classroom, but a lot of the project hours take place outside of the school day.
Okay. Yeah. So, do you have to work hard to try to find that cooperation from the community and the business public? And
Absolutely not. We have been so fortunate. The community has been amazing, welcoming. I don't think we have too much trouble finding mentors. Everybody is so willing to be helpful and to share their knowledge with the students and to provide opportunities for them to, explore new opportunities, to explore ideas and job potentials and career potentials. And I think that's one of the best things. But we really have had amazing support from the community.
Has there been one that's been really unique that you can think of over the past few years?
That's a tough question. We've had so many amazing projects. One that sticks out in my mind, a few years ago, we had a student who did a cheek swab for bone marrow, and we actually had a community member who was a match and was able to help save someone's life through that senior project. So that was pretty amazing. Yeah.
Talk about giving back to the community.
Exactly.
Right there.
Yeah.
I know you had a young woman come over here, and she was a part of our radio station for a little bit. That was unique a couple of years ago as well.
Yeah, we've had a lot of amazing things. I mean, from kids learning self-defense and teaching self-defense classes to other students, to just running blood drives, or I don't know. The list goes on and on. We've had so many amazing things happening.
Do you wish that you would have had something like this when you were in school?
Oh, absolutely. I think it gives kids an opportunity to explore things that maybe they are interested in, and maybe they find out they love it, and maybe they find out they don't. But at least they have that opportunity before they go out into the real world.
It's coming down to the wire then. So are the projects nearly completed, or are they complete?
We are wrapping up. The projects are mostly complete, and the students are preparing. At the end of their project, they have to present to a panel of teachers and just share all of the amazing things that they did throughout the year. It's probably the most nerve-wracking day for the students. They're very nervous about presenting their projects, but I think that it kind of, again, gives them an opportunity to stand up and to really share all the amazing things that they're doing.
You have an event at the end of the year as well to honor those that co-opt with the students, don't you?
Correct. That is coming up in a couple of weeks. We have our presentation day where we invite the parents and the mentors to come in, and we have a luncheon, and then the kids present their projects.
Oh, wow. So it's some exciting times, that's for sure. Kind of a way to say thank you then, too.
It is, yes. It's our way of saying thank you to everyone who helped and supported the seniors throughout the year.
Well, let's talk to some of the seniors here.
That would be great.
We have them lined up to microphones. Kate Terrell is here. Kate, good morning.
Good morning.
Great to have you in here today.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Well, tell me about your senior project.
So I have written and illustrated a children's book that promotes kindness, compassion, and empathy. I've been working with my mentor, Kristen Mitchell, out of Little Creek Press in Mineral Point, and she has been amazing, super helpful, and very supportive throughout this whole process. And so as a way of giving back to my community, I've read to the elementary students in Highland and shared my story and the lessons through it. And I have several school visits lined up to keep promoting kindness and everything, and I'm very excited about that. And I've also donated a copy to the my school district, and I will to the other school districts as well.
So you are a published author then?
I am, yes, officially now. I just had my book launch yesterday. It was very exciting, yeah.
That's exciting. I don't know if I've talked to any high school students that have accomplished that already. So that's good. Tell us about the book and what it's about then.
The inspiration behind it, my grandma turned towards literature during a part in her life where it was just a lot of grieving, and it was just a way of coping with her emotions. She turned to literature, and so I wanted to create my own story about my life and just help readers know that they're not alone and that everyone's incredible. And it's called Incredible Friends, so I want to say that everyone's incredible and that they just should always be kind and compassionate and just look to others for support and be that support for someone.
Who did the illustration for you then?
So I did, actually.
You did?
Yeah,
Wow.
I started earlier this summer, and throughout all these months, I finally completed it, and I used my iPad, so it was definitely a learning curve there compared to paper and pencils and everything. So it was super cool taking that route, and it's been really great.
I've heard of Little Creek Press in Mineral Point because we have an author coming up here later this spring that's going to come and talk that has a book published there. But how did you get connected with them?
Well, I have the help of Ms. Straka, our advisors, and Brad Van Apps, thought of Kristen as well, and so I've had so many great support people to kind of steer me in that direction, and I'm so thankful I had Kristen throughout this, and also Shannon Booth. She helped edit the book, the storyline. She is also part of Little Creek Press, and I just made so many great connections throughout that place.
Are you autographing copies then?
So I did yesterday during the book launch. I had a fun little table, and it was really great. I read the story to everybody, and they got to pick up their books, and I was able to sign it, and it was really fun. It was a place in Potosi called Pages and Parcels, and they were so gracious enough to have me come and have my book launch there. So I was so thankful they were giving me that opportunity.
Is this the first of many books for you?
I hope so. I hope I keep doing it. I would love to continue it during college. Right now, I'm planning on majoring in marketing and sales, but minoring in entrepreneurship. And I could see myself going in that direction of publishing and all of that stuff.
Or maybe in your spare time, right?
Yeah.
I wonder because I know you're busy in so many other things. It's all about time management. How did you find the time to put this all together?
I loved drawing it, and just honestly, every part of writing and illustrating this book has been really enjoyable to me. So I never found it like a task or a burden or anything, because I just really loved it. So every time I was home or had any form of free time, I kind of turned to doing that, and it went really well. Yeah, I felt like I stayed organized and kept myself busy and making deadlines, and it turned out great. Yeah.
Were you a three-sport athlete, or are you a three-sport athlete at Highland?
Yes.
You playing softball this spring too?
Right now, yeah, I am playing softball.
Sure. Well, and sports is another avenue you've gone, and have you learned a lot from sports that you can learn and maybe use in everyday life?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's first communication and teamwork and being dependable and rely on others, and just so many relationships and connections that has definitely helped me through all of this. You can learn a lot through sports.
Your dad being your coach too, so do you think he has a book in him? Can he write a book maybe someday or not?
He likes to say that he has one in the process. Yeah, I'm sure he would try it.
That's awesome. Well, we'll come back to you, Kate. Thanks for joining us. Bennett Smith is here as well. Bennett, how are you doing these days?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you. Doing real well. You, tell us about your senior project at Highland.
So my senior project is raising awareness for cancer and getting a bunch of donations together and giving them to cancer patients themselves. So I worked with the community to get a gracious amount of donations, and then I put small bags together and I delivered them directly to the cancer patients. So Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. Where did you get the inspiration for that?
Well, my grandmother, Julie Keller, she had cancer multiple times, and she survived it every time. And I knew nothing about cancer when I started, so I thought helping the community and giving back to cancer patients would be nice.
That's interesting. You and Kate both inspired by your grandmas.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's awesome. What was the community response like when you went out to look for donations and support?
It was amazing. They sent me like a bunch of Amazon boxes. I put it out like a wish list on Amazon, and they just sent the packages right to my doorstep. It filled up my table like 3 separate times. So it was amazing.
And then you've already distributed the items to the patients and
to
everything?
the hospital in Dodgeville.
Okay. Yeah, that's amazing. When you look at your high school career at Highland, is this possibly a highlight for you?
Definitely, for sure. After delivering the bags, it made me feel great, so I loved it.
What are some other things you're involved in at Highland?
Well, I'm a 3-sport athlete as well: football, basketball, baseball, and I'm in like a couple of clubs around the school, like Sources of Strength, FBLA, and a couple things like that. So
you were a part of the transition from 11-player football to 8-player football.
Yep.
How did that? I mean, it went well. You had some really good success, but was it a tough transition at first, Bennett?
Definitely at first, because as the quarterback throwing to the sidelines, I overthrew the sideline every single time. But it took a little bit to get used to, and the plays and the amount of people that were on the field and how close the DNs were to me. It was definitely a weird transition, but once you got going, it definitely felt like regular football. So,
and it can be higher scoring too, can't it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So as a quarterback, you see the receiver and you see nothing but green behind him.
Mm-hmm.
It probably makes your eyes kind of wide, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot more like man coverage rather than deep zone, so it was a lot easier to score a lot of points. So, yeah, it was fun.
What about going to Highland schools? What do you like most about your school, or most proud of?
I like that our school is small and you know everybody. You can have a connection with everybody, and you also can get a lot closer with the teachers since there's not as many people in your class. So,
good answer. What about next year?
I'm going to Whitewater, so that'll be a big change, and I'm gonna try to get my CPA and major in accounting.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
And John Jeschmeyer is here. John, let's talk about your senior project. What did you do this year?
So for my senior project, I took it upon myself to learn a little bit more about civil engineering. That was an avenue I thought I saw myself going in after high school. So I'm going down to UW Platteville next year to start my career studying civil engineering. So for my project, I wanted to do something with bridges. I've always been fascinated by bridges and just thought it'd be something cool to do. So I built model bridges myself out of popsicle sticks, and I got a connection with a professor down at Platteville, Dr. Ragaby, who does civil engineering with an emphasis in structural. So he does a lot of stuff with bridges. And I remember in middle school, we did a bridge building unit in science where we built popsicle stick bridges in class, and then they have like a competition down at UW Platteville where you can build balsa wood bridges, and I remember doing that too, so I kind of thought back to that and thought that would be something cool to do for my actual project. And after I got in touch with Dr. Ragaby, we talked a little bit about my project goal and what I wanted to do, and he was a little hesitant about it at first, about like fully accepting the project, but I think one of the reasons he was skeptical is because he didn't realize like the commitment and scale of which our project was and how committed like all the students are to it. And he was very helpful with that, and he even invited me down to observe one of his classes where they tested their own popsicle stick bridges. So I got to go down there and watch them test popsicle stick bridges, and took it upon myself. I made 3 of them to kind of model mine off of like what they did and took some inspiration from them. So that was really cool, and he helped me through the whole process of designing them. We talked about it, how long they should be, like different dimensions of stuff. So I drew all them up on my sister's iPad and sent them to him, and he told me they were good to go. So then I started building them and built them. And then after I built them, I talked to him about talking to the middle school students because they were just starting their unit on building bridges like we did in middle school. So they have the same thing now. So I went and talked to them and gave them a little presentation about different types of bridges, the different types I built, and then have been helping them for a couple weeks now build theirs. They did popsicle stick bridges the last 2 weeks, and this week they just started their balsa wood bridges for the competition.
Awesome. Do you have to eat a lot of popsicles?
Yeah.
Where do you get the material?
We bought it all at Walmart. I mean, the hardest part of getting it, I had 1,000 popsicle sticks. I used almost every single one of them. I mean, I was gluing popsicle sticks with holes in them because I drilled them wrong to the deck of my bridge at the end because I didn't want to have to go buy more sticks. But most of the connections between the popsicle sticks were with toothpicks. So I used a lot of toothpicks and drilled a lot of little holes in popsicle sticks and put the toothpicks through them. It was a pain, but it was worth it.
What do you do to test it then? Do you have to? Is there like a weight test in it?
They have a thing down at Platteville. I won't test mine.
Okay.
But they have a thing down at Platteville. It's a machine, and it has 2 bars that you slide into things, and it pushes straight down on them, and it gives back a bunch of readings about force and what amount of weight it broke at. So those things are pretty cool.
I thought maybe you had Barbie and Ken in a car and pushed them over the bridge to see if it holds it or not. Oh, so that's really so then you put it to good use. How did you bring it back to the community and and use that as part of your senior project?
Yeah, I think helping the middle school students was my community aspect of my projects. I mean, my whole goal behind it was to kind of get them interested in engineering in general. Because I know their teacher kind of talked a little bit about it, but to see a real world aspect of engineering, I mean civil in this case, I think it really helped the kids be like, oh, this is an option. Like, I could go down this path. Like, this is somewhere that I could see myself doing. So I thought that was really, really good.
Have you gone out to some actual job sites where they were putting bridges together?
No, I haven't done that yet, but part of the project is we have to do a 4-hour job shadow. So I went down and job shadowed Barton Eyes and a couple other people at Delta 3 in Platteville. And they do more of the municipal, like, street work and that type of stuff in towns. So it was a little different than my project, but I thought that was really interesting when I went down there. He showed me a bunch of the plans they had, and I got to talk to a couple surveyors and look at one of the technicians that does CAD design, so like drawing up all the plans and stuff on the computer with the program. So that whole experience for me was really beneficial to just see the whole process, because Mr. Knives, his whole thing was he wanted to take me through the whole process, like the start of the project to the end of the project. So that's why he had me work with the surveyors, the CAD design, another person that was working on the actual like road design, and then the final plans. And he talked to me about how he has to go to town meetings and get approval from the town to work on it and then get bids out to contractors. So that whole experience was really good.
What are some other things you're involved in at Highland Schools, John?
Yeah, like Bennett said, I'm also a 3-sport athlete. I'm involved in FBLA and stuff like that. So,
and FBLA has competition too. Have you had a recent?
Yeah, they have a regional competition and a state competition. I got to go to both of them. And the state one, I was a part of a leadership group. So we got an experience there where we had to go in this room with a bunch of other people that we didn't know. So you got seated at a table. I think there was like 6 at each table. And our first task was we got a region of the state. The region I was put in was the south central part. So that kind of included like where I'm from in Highland. So it was like Iowa County, Dane County, and some of the surrounding ones. So we got that part of the state. And our whole thing was you got to build a business. And you had to sell your area of the state to the other people's businesses. And that was the first day. And then the second day, we actually got to create our business. So that was really fun.
Awesome. And then you mentioned next year going to Platteville. It's not a long trip from Highland, but still you'll be going away to college.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, I think my connection with Dr. Agaby will be nice to have someone down there that like I know at least a little bit, and he knows me. So I think that'll be nice and help the transition a little bit.
Sure. I think all three of you, you benefit from living in a small town, I think, Bennett, because it's a lot of times you've got those connections and it's who you know and they know somebody. And did you kind of notice that with your project?
Definitely. Without the support of my community, my project would not have been as good as it was. So, and everybody in Highland is just so, connected, and we always support each other no matter what's happening. So, the small community is great.
That's the benefit of living where you live, isn't it?
Definitely.
Right. And you guys are marking off on the calendar. Kate, how many days did you say you have of school left?
Right now, I think we have 22.
22. Okay.
Yeah.
And what are some things coming down the stretch? Senior trip? Where's that going to be?
I believe we're going to the Dells.
All right.
Yeah, and we will present our projects here pretty soon, and we have a trip that all the high school goes on just to go down to the park and just do some activities to celebrate the end of the year. So we have a lot of things coming up.
How many are in your graduating class this year?
I think right now we have 28.
28. Good number there. I presume it's a close-knit group. John, is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, most of us have been together, if not from 4K or kindergarten, but at least from middle school. I mean, we all know, pretty much everyone's mom and dad, siblings. I mean, we've grown a lot closer over this senior year. I think that happens with most senior classes, but we've really got to connect better throughout this senior year.
And what about spring sports then? You're looking at going to state, right?
Yeah, we had a little rough start to the year. We've lost a lot of close games in baseball. I mean, we've lost, I think, 3 one-run games now, and then we lost to Dodgeville in 10 innings. But yeah, it's been we have the talent there, but we just got to put it together. It'll come at some point.
It will. And I don't think you've played on a day when it wasn't windy, have you, Bennett?
Yeah, maybe one day, but other than that, it's been like 40 degrees, windy, wet. Yeah.
Can't wait for some better weather. Maybe May will bring that.
100%.
What about softball, Kate? How's it going for you?
Good. Yeah, we have a new head coach, Tim Kasharek. He's been really great, and the team's really working well together, and we're having fun.
You're supposed to have a game tonight?
We are, yes. Monticello and Glarus.
Hopefully you can get it in.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, as far as the class here, Melissa, these are 3 great representatives. I'm just amazed at what they've been able to do.
Yeah, they are some pretty amazing projects, and we have so many other amazing projects too. It was really difficult to choose which 3 to come and showcase today. We're really proud of this class and what it does. I was thinking about it as the 3 of them were talking, and the students get to take control of their learning, but I think the experiences that they gain throughout this class far surpass even just the work that they're doing. It's kind of fun to watch them grow as seniors and to learn skills that are going to benefit them as they go off to college or into the workforce or whatever their life may take them. Like, they're learning skills that they don't necessarily realize they're learning, which is kind of the best part of this class, I think. We talk a lot about that, and they're like, nah, we're not really learning that. I'm like, well, someday you'll come back and say, yes, Mrs. Straka, we really did learn a lot in this class, even if we don't want to admit it right now. But just real world skills like time management and making connections in the community, making connections in the professional workforce, through their job shadows, through their projects. It's just sort of an amazing thing, and I feel very lucky that I get to be a part of it and get to encourage these kids to do some outstanding things.
They probably don't realize it, but I'm guessing you see the maturity growth
definitely.
through the year, don't you?
Oh, definitely. From the beginning of the year when they're super scared to contact a mentor because they don't know them, to having a really awesome relationship at the end. It's pretty amazing to watch not only the students grow, but those opportunities for them grow as well. Yeah, it's an amazing thing. I think that is one of the best things that we do in Highland.
Senior class project, is that a requirement for graduation?
It is a graduation requirement in Highland, yes.
And so everybody's got kind of a different idea. It sounds like, and unique. I don't know if you've ever had authors before. Or
We haven't. I mean, we've had a lot of different students go into their careers. I mean, we've had photographers, we've had electricians, we've had, sometimes kids find a path they don't even realize that they're looking at. I've had one student who completely changed his career path just because of a job shadow that he did. But I think the most important thing is that kids get to choose their learning. And when you get to choose your learning, you're more invested in it.
You guys all came through the COVID year. I'm guessing, how old were you when school was shut down for COVID? That was 2020, Kate.
I don't know, 7th grade year. It's kind of between 6th and 7th grade.
That was a challenge. I mean, you kind of felt life change a little bit, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, it was definitely a change to going online and dealing with internet issues and just everything virtually. It was definitely a change.
Mm-hmm. Probably felt like you learned something from it, though, didn't you, Bennett?
Oh, definitely. It taught me how to not procrastinate as much because I had so many things around my house that I could have played with and done things with rather than school. But yeah, it was a weird experience.
Yeah. Moving forward, though, looking ahead, as you graduate here in 2025, John, what do you think are some challenges that face you guys as you get out into school and eventually into the workforce?
Well, I just think some of the biggest things is just like Bennett said, procrastination's a big issue with a lot of kids in our school. I know I struggle with it a lot too, but just getting your work done and staying focused. I know my mom always says that she has people at work that struggle to show up. So I think being to work on time and just like little things like that, I think are something that even if you can just do it, like it's not hard to do to show up to work even, 10, 15 minutes early, but I think that's just something that employers really appreciate. So I think that's one of the things is, yeah.
You're coming into, a lot of exciting things with technology, too. And you as an author, Kate, too, the subject of AI is always around, I mean, people could probably easily write a children's book on AI. What is your feeling on that?
Yeah, I'm sure AI would provide a lot of helpful information, but to me, it was just, my book was very personal to my life story, so I didn't really feel the need to go to that, although I'm sure it provides a lot of helpful information. I'm happy to say that I wrote it on my own, and I'm glad that I did it that way because I could say it was all me, but I do know that it probably would provide a lot of information, but I like to know that I completed it on my own.
Yeah, wonderful. Well said. Well, I really appreciate you all coming in here today, and it's been great getting to know you. Good luck with your senior projects and down the stretch. And do you still sign yearbooks at Highland, Bennett? You guys have yearbooks?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Still do that? So you're signing your yearbooks and getting some of those year-end things done then?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, good deal. Anything else you'd like to add here, Melissa?
Just thank you for taking the time to talk with us and learn more about our project. We're very proud of what we do in Highland, and it's really great that we got to share that with everybody.
Wonderful. Thanks for making the trip over here today.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Go Cardinals. Yes. Highland Cardinals. Melissa Straka, their advisor and senior project advisor, Kate Terrell, Bennett Smith, and John Dreschmeyer, members of the 2025 graduating class at Highland, joining us here on The Morning Show.